Now, I had been in this fight for a long time, and I looked at her, and little did I know what the words were going to mean a few months later. I looked at her and I said, Joey Lynn, no one's coming to save you. I had learned when she told me her story that we were fighting the same beast, except for two different heads. I was fighting the criminal side. She was fighting the civil side. And I looked at her, I said, Joey Lynn, nobody's coming to save you or your family. Your best bet is for you to learn to write legislation. And as hard as it is, you have to write legislation for all Americans, even those that are persecuting you. And 6 months later, we ended up at the Patriot Academy, and she wrote legislation about the laws that's used against her. And I wrote legislation to hold judges in any federal position, whoever holds a federal position, accountable. Because again, not only the reason that we are where we are in a country is because of we the people. The reason that the FBI and the Department of Justice is acting this way are because of the policy and procedures that are put in place, because there are loopholes, because they are ignoring our Constitution, and there is no accountability. None.
Get to the chat. Nikki is saying she's defeated. That was the exact opposite of my intention. Hopefully everybody feels that way. I know this is heavy. This is a lot. And we're not saying, by the way, that every single congressman is evil and bad and out to get us. It's just the point is it's up to us. It's up to the people to rise up. They aren't going to do it without massive, massive public pressure. Period. Case closed. So it is your job, if you're watching this, to get involved somehow, some way in your community. I'm going to be staying in very close contact with Sarah, and we will figure out, I don't know exactly what our next steps are going to look like. But one thing for sure, scrolling across the bottom of my screen. So not only is this woman, and by the way, this isn't a sales pitch. We're both in sales. This is us pouring our hearts out to the world. And so not only is she dealing with her own horrific situation and having to work multiple jobs just to make ends meet, now that her innocent husband has been incarcerated for years and has years left should President Trump not get in office or inaugurated in January and able to pardon these people. We can't wait on that, people. This has been happening for a long time. If you're waiting for him to save us, you've already missed it. Not saying that he can't do a lot of good or that I don't think that he's going to pardon the people. Absolutely. But for crying out loud, this goes so far beyond one man. It's disgusting. I hope you've got that from this. All that to say, not only does she have to fight for her own family's life, she started a foundation, a nonprofit called Stand in the Gap, to help other families that are dealing with the same thing. That is like the epitome of servitude, if ever I've seen it. And so what you can do if you want to help her right now is to go to her website, sarahmcabee.us. It's scrolling across the bottom of the screen. Take a look at her story. Share the living daylights out of everything. If you do nothing else, this would be a good call to action, Sarah. What if we all my listeners, made it a point to go on her website and share a different snippet on your social media every single day between now and the election? In fact, I might do that. I might set that as my goal, just because it's massive, the stuff that's on there.